Hi, this is Tanner Rainbolt. This is EDL 854, Module 16, my case study. Just a summary of what's happening with this incident. It's at George Washington Middle School. Mr. Stevens is the principal in charge at the school. Mrs. Bowman is a parent volunteer who works for or helps out with the PTO, assists with games and concessions and tickets and things like that. She approached Mr. Stevens a while back about her daughter being able to use the PTO funds to go on a cheerleading trip. And Mr. Stevens said that the school could not provide that because it only met, the needs of one student and not the majority of students. So Mrs. Bowman was a little bit upset about that. So after a basketball game, the last one, they're missing 10 tickets. The tickets were torn, supposedly. They're missing about $50 worth of ticket proceeds. And Mr. Dumas, who was having a conversation with Mr. Stevens when he walked in, handed the ticket taker a $50 bill because he had just got paid. And that $50 bill was not in the proceeds at the end of the night. So the category 1, problem and analysis, what I currently know. Mrs. Bowman is the upset parent, and she was the event coordinator that night. She was part of handling the money. We're missing 10 tickets in the proceeds, so the tickets were supposedly torn, and we're missing that $50 bill. So what do I need to know? What specific individual is working the gate? I know Mrs. Bowman was the event coordinator, but what specific person was working the gate? So where are the torn tickets? Is there evidence of them? Are they in the trash? Where are they? And number 3, overall, who took the money? So the problem, again, who took the money? Do we have evidence? And what are the next steps once we find the person who took it? What consequences or actions come from that? So the action plan, number 1, I would talk with the ticket taker, see their side of the story. Maybe they know who took the money or if it was misplaced. I would look at the video evidence if that was available. So if there was a camera or a video footage of the ticket taker and wherever the money was kept. And number 3, I would talk with Mrs. Bowman, see her side of the story, see if she, knew of anybody who took it, or maybe a student or, another parent in the PTO. But just get her side as well, since she was the event coordinator. Implementation. So if I would change the entire process. I would assign an event coordinator who was a staff employee to oversee money at the games. We currently do that at the school that I'm at. I think if you have a staff member, a teacher who's in charge of that, it holds them more accountable, and they're also a trusted, staff member of yours. Number 2, I would pay staff workers to work the concessions and ticket takers or ticket sales. So those would also be teachers in our school. Our school that I'm at right now currently does that. It seems to work well. Number 3, I would have the bookkeeper in charge of reviewing the funds alongside myself, the principal. And number 4, the event coordinator and the principal would both count money at the end of the night. So in this situation, Mr. Stevens was the only one who counted the money. He did it with a guard present, but the event coordinator, Mrs. Bowman, was not present when counting the money. So I would change that as well. Category 3, resolving the issue. I would set guidelines, like I previously said, for the staff event workers, have some training, have a list of duties that they can follow. Number 2, set guidelines for the PTA organization, whoever the PTA or PTO president was, and the parent volunteers. I would have guidelines and set expectations for them. And number 3, I would just reinforce that the money is for students, so that whoever took this money is taking money from other children and taking money that we could use to help enhance learning overall. Category 5, the debrief, or 4, thinking we need to fix this process overall. Like I previously stated, I'm just in disbelief that this happened from the get-go, and who besides Mrs. Bowman is a suspect who could have taken the money. I'm feeling very frustrated that this situation happened. I'm concerned because I don't want this to happen again. And I'm just embarrassed because as a principal, you're overseeing all of this. It ultimately falls on your shoulders. So I'm just embarrassed of, that occurred under my watch. Category 4, Category 5, the debrief, valuing parent volunteers. I appreciate that they, are volunteering their time without getting paid to help our school. I value the students' money because ultimately this money is going back to the students, and I value staff members. Hopefully, we can get them to work, give up some of their time where they can also get paid. But I value that they put in the extra effort to help our school in an extracurricular setting. Issues unresolved that we probably should start a new process, like I previously stated. There's somebody who took the money, so we don't know who that is. And how do we make sure this doesn't happen again? The reflection, this is category 5. So standard 8, category 1, effective and efficient management of the school or district funds. So Mr. Stevens provided pre-numbered tickets. He had parent volunteers, and he had a guard that helped him protect the money, that oversaw, him counting the money as well as making the deposit. Category 2, social learning. Mr. Stevens was building a relationship with Mr. Dumas. He talked to him at the game. That's definitely going to help everyone if you can build relationships as a principal. He's very trusting of the parent volunteers, and he has a bunch of shared responsibilities. So just making sure that we hold those people accountable for their responsibilities is key here. The category 3, academic learning. PTO funds were used for the majority of the student body. So he made Mrs. Bowman upset, but he did the right thing by not giving that money just to her daughter, because that needs to be used on the majority of the student body and not just one student. He was promoting people to attend the basketball game. He was talking to Mr. Dumas about how he loves that he was able to come and support the team. And, he's sharing responsibilities with the PTO, which is good because it gives parents a responsibility, gives them more buy-in if they can help work and support not only, their kids, but other kids within the school. So that was my case study. Thank you.